Robbie Flanagan writes in and says, greetings, Corona loathing cohorts. It's a long story. We can't explain it. Triple click. I'm sorry. With the tremendous successes
that
of
kind
Final
of
Fantasy...
explains itself.
Well, the cohorts thing. Never mind. With the tremendous successes of Final Fantasy VII and Resident Evil 2 and the seemingly decent response to RE3 Remake, do you see the remake trend continuing for the foreseeable future? Do you think it would take a catastrophic flop of a remake to finally kill the trend? And finally, what's your pie in the sky dream make? Okay, so that we'll save that for the second chunk. Could anything kill the trend? Is it possible for these big budget remakes to flop in a big way?
Oh boy. I mean, a terrible one, I guess, but I don't see that killing the trend just because the trend it kind of makes the argument for itself. It's like a game that people already know. So there's an established group of people who probably want it. People will be curious about it. No, it doesn't seem to me like even a failure.
It's also a trend in other industries right now, too.
Right,
like,
exactly.
So much other media is like either revisiting or remaking stuff from 20, 30 years ago. So games doing it, too, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but it's way better in games because in games you can take a game that hasn't aged well and you can make it into this like Resident Evil.
I thought A Star Is Born was pretty good. I mean,
it's fair.
Yeah.
Where is the game adaptation of it?
Good question.
It's not. Imagine there's no precedent for like Final Fantasy VII completely changing everything from the gameplay to like the script to like there's no remake in Hollywood that like changes the genre of. I guess you could say, like, are there like a musical version of an old movie?
I'm sure people could come up with one.
There's the gritty remake of Oklahoma. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and
like
I guess
Clueless is kind of like an interpretation of that Shakespeare,
right?
Well, yeah. And Maddie, you said Watchmen. Actually, I think Watchmen's a great example. That is actually a Final Fantasy VII level. Example. I mean, it's a sequel. It's not really a remake of Watchmen.
Yeah, no, that's not.
But it kind of is. I don't know.
Revisitation of the themes of the original Watchmen book that iterates on them in a cool way.
But it's like very much a continuation of.
Nope, it's exactly like
I do feel this. I don't think any. Yeah, I'm with Kirk. I don't think anything will kill the remake trend because remakes are pretty cool and can be really good. I mean, you look at the Resident Evil games. Like, I would love to see a lot of older games, especially because the video game industry has just no respect for preservation of old games. So if you're not going to just like find ways to actually maintain your library of classics, then I guess the next best thing is to remake them for modern audiences and sell them again.
Yeah, I think there's this idea of, they did Final Fantasy VII. Now Square can remake 8 and let's go nuts. Let's do 6. Let's do all these. I don't think people are appreciating the budget Final Fantasy VII Remake had and like how much effort that thing was. Yes, it is.
Right. When Final Fantasy VII Remake ends in like the year 2035, people will finally be like, I see now why they didn't remake 8.
Yeah, it's not easy just to be like, you get a remake. It's like, no, this was, they had to move mountains of solid gold just to make this thing happen, you know? But Pie in the Sky Dream Make, what would y'all like to be remade? What jumps to the top of your minds?
I have one.
Sweet Good and 2.
Okay, with the full, like the production values of a 7 remake?
No, really, I just want that game remade with like a new script. It can have the same graphics.
Oh,
I
interesting.
feel that. That's kind of my answer too. It's more cheating because I really just want them to reboot Metroid as a series because Samus's canon has gotten so crowded and weird over the past several games. And I don't think that's going to happen because Metroid Prime 4 is happening instead. But for a while, I was pretty sure they were going to reboot and remake all the Metroid games. I could still be right about that in like 10 years. Who knows?
Don't get Maddie started on Other M.
Has Nintendo
I love it. No, I don't.
Has Nintendo ever done a narrative reboot? They've never had to before, right?
Right. Well, they kind of have because Samus Returns came out and that is a remake of Metroid 2 for the Game Boy. I thought it was quite good. It sort of flew under the radar because it came out on 3DS around the same time that the Switch came out and nobody was playing their 3DSs anymore except for me to play that game. But it's not like they haven't remade a Metroid game and, in my opinion, improved it.
Yeah.
So, could be done.
Could be done.
Could be done. Okay, I have one too. It's not ever probably going to happen, but I think it would be pretty cool to play a fully done up remake of Knights of the Old Republic.
I like that.
I kind of think that a lot of people haven't played that game, or like there are modern people who are into Star Wars who look at that game and just think, oh, it just is too old fashioned. It looks too old, or it doesn't run on the system I want to play it on. And playing a version of that game that was completely redone, pretty cool.
It'd be amazing.
What makes you think that's not ever going to happen?
Well, there would be because they would release like a remaster, with like slightly
Plus,
better
Star
textures.
Wars is going so well that like they won't ever need to
Yeah.
go mine all the material.
That's true. I feel like an actual remake of the game that like builds everything from the ground up would be cooler than a remaster with like slightly higher res graphics. But I
Yeah.
feel like the latter is more likely, probably.
I also
Yeah.
think if they're gonna revisit Knights of the Republic as like a single player RPG, it's just gonna be a new entry that's gonna like incorporate
Mhm.
the new canon.
Mhm.
Like like you said, they're done with that sort of story.
Right.
Well, the new entry is the MMO. The MMO has the story of like
that's true.
10 of
yeah.
those games all
Right,
stuffed in
right.
one.
I do kind of want to do a
Um,
deepest dive game club on the Old Republic MMO. Like everybody chooses a different path. Because I mean, I played through
That'd
one
be
of
fun.
them and one of the storylines. And I thought it was really impressive, actually. Like I really enjoyed it,
Mhm,
but I'm
I've
sure
heard
it's
that.
not
A lot of
aged
these
well.
MMOs, between that and Final Fantasy 14 and Elder Scrolls Online, it's all of these games nobody will ever have time for, but they all have these amazing storylines that have just been iterated over years and years of development. And just
People have time
are-
now,
it's
Jason.
amazing.
People have
It's
time
true.
now.
Now you have time, but you don't have money for all those monthly subscriptions.
It is the beautiful someday.
Kirk, if I had to make a prediction, it would be that your dream of a remake comes true.
All right, you
Wow,
teased.
okay,
Because you
nice.
tweeted a
I like
while
that.
ago, Jason, where you're like, because there's so many rumors about a remake of Knights of the Old Republic. And then you tweeted something like, if it is happening, it's not happening at EA, which also set the internet on fire trying to figure out what the hell you're talking about.
EA, I guess I don't know exactly when their deal with Lucasfilm expires. They signed it in 2013. There were rumors that it was a 10-year deal, which would make it 2023. I don't know if that's actually true, if it's 10 years. I'm not 100% sure how long it is. But with Knights of the Old Republic project, I mean, yeah, I know it was at Bioware Austin, they would talk about it a lot and people really wanted to do it, but it was, as often happens, it was like one of those dangling carrots that like, okay, we just got to do this thing, and yeah, then we're gonna get to pitch a KOTOR, then we're gonna make a KOTOR.
I'm trying to remember the thing you talk about when you say do it. Do you mean remake Knights of the Old Republic, or do you mean make a new entry, like Kyle was talking about?
I think I have to be a little careful here.
Uh-oh.
I think
all
that,
right. Don't say anything you can't say.
If there were to be a KOTOR remake, I think it would have to get through a lot of green lights. So it isn't the type of thing that you should get super excited about.
I was getting excited, so I'm bummed.
Well
Don't
But
done.
do
it's
it.
the type of thing
I'm really getting worked up over here.
people definitely want it to happen. People
Yes,
definitely
well,
want it
naturally.
I was thinking, like,
to happen.
One of them's right here.
yeah.
Mhm.
People in a position to make it happen want it to happen.
Okay.
I was thinking about Dream Remake, and it's maybe a weird choice, but for a while I wanted Bethesda to make it, and now I don't want that so much anymore, but I want just a good, high-budget Oregon Trail. Wouldn't that be great?
That's great. Oh, I
That
love
is
that.
good.
Just
I'm
even...
picturing
Did
it-
you ever play Oregon Trail 2, the sequel that has all this like tons of items that you can get?
it's personal.
Yeah, it's really.
I never
cool.
have.
No, the real one. It's like 3D graphics. It
Yeah,
has
yeah,
all these elaborate items you can pick up, and there are a lot of. It's weird. It's clunky.
Wouldn't
I
that be
played Amazon Trail, which is like the magical realism. You're hunting the Incan treasure version of a sequel to Oregon Trail. That game also
That's
exists.
good.
I want to play that at some point,
Child
too.
me thought it was cool.
Wouldn't it be sweet to have, like, a Hello Games or somebody else that you can just, like, procedurally generate the West, and it really just takes you, like,
Yeah.
years or however long just to journey across this thing? I think it'd be so fun. How long did it take him to go across the Oregon Trail? Was it years?
I
Must have
don't
been.
know. I would
Awesome.
imagine it was a long time, at least
Okay.
a year.
Thank you. Thank you, historian.
That's
what I got.
Appreciate it.
That
That's
takes
what I got.
I can't see it taking a year. Well, because if you think about it, so driving across the country would probably take you, if you did it straight, would probably take you like 2 days. So a fraction of that speed, right? Should we do the math on hand, right? Like
Let's
6
ask
miles
Google
per hour.
how long it
How
takes
many
to
how
walk.
many
hang
miles
on.
per hour does a cattle take?
We
to
got it
walk?
right here.
It's gotta be like a Red Dead 2 mod where you just start at the
You
most
just walk.
east side
Okay,
of the map.
I
like,
googled
go
it,
to the
and
west.
I thought you were going to
Apparently
say
most
out loud that
records
gives you a
show-
car.
So it is 4 to 6 months is how long it
Yeah,
takes.
that
Well,
makes sense.
They were dying from that? Please. 4 to 6 months.
Jeez.
Shut up, liver.
Ben, they didn't
Of
have
course, they didn't have
back then.
vaccines or like
Yeah.
hygiene, but like, why were they dying? It's so weird.
I don't know, everybody's
They didn't
weaker
have
back
vitamin
then.
C.
If you enjoyed this clip from the MinnMax Show podcast, we think you'll like the full show too. You can find it by subscribing to MinnMax's YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast app. Any help spreading the word to keep our whole indie operation here running is appreciated. We're here for and because of the wonderful MinnMax community, so you're welcome to join.